We have all heard of D.B. Cooper, but to this day his identity has never been discovered. It has never been considered before, but Loki Laufeyson is D.B. Cooper. As well as there being photo and video evidence of Loki committing the crime and evidence of Loki existing as a real person, there is also video and quote evidence from Hela of how the riches were ended up being spent. As well as this, Loki is a god of mischief, and this is a very mischievous act, so it's in his nature to do something like that. To start off, Loki is a god of mischief, also known as the trickster god, as stated in Norse mythology, so it would be in his nature to commit the crime. Known as a chaos god, you wouldn't pray to him, you'd pray to other gods keeping him away, which means people would fear him, which is why people would want him to stay away. And that's proof that Loki's D.B. Cooper, because obviously people would fear him committing the crime again. He is sneaky and sneaky, people can easily get away with crimes like that, and so that's also proof that Loki's D.B. Cooper. Being the trickster god, like his powers. One of his powers is shape-shifting, which is like basically changing his appearance. So he could have changed his appearance to get away with the crime, so he didn't get discovered. He can also create illusions to make people see things to distract them from the pilots and stuff, from what is happening. Like in his battle with Thor, when he used the illusion to in an attempt to defeat Thor, when he created multiple versions of himself. And in the Battle of Malekith, he faked his death with an illusion to gain the throne of Asgard and pretended to be Odin, which is his father. Who is to say he didn't do this again to escape the plane he hijacked? Not only does it make logical sense, there is solid evidence, such as this picture, to show that Loki's D.B. Cooper. So that's what he looked like, and that is Loki at the same time on a plane at the same time that the crime was committed. As well as this, there's also video evidence of Loki committing the crime.
Bourbon and soda.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Is there anything else I can do for you, sir?
I suppose we'll find out, won't we? Miss.
Yes, Mr. Cooper.
You might want to take a look at that note. I have a bomb. See you again someday. Brother, Heimdall, you better be ready.
So as you can see at the end of that video, Loki was summoned back up to Asgard by Heimdall, which you heard before, and with the money. So he could have used that money to pay for the gold and stuff that you can see in Asgard. So, and in a video you can hear Hela talking about her and Odin's past, where they went around to other realms and basically stole stuff from them, and they were talking about that's how they got the gold to supply Asgard. So who's to say that they didn't do that didn't steal from Earth as well? There is more for it to say that they did steal from Earth than to say they didn't. So it makes absolute sense that Loki is D.B. Cooper. You may be thinking that this is fake and part of several movies and TV shows, which is a totally valid opinion, but at the end of the day, facts always beat opinions, and the fact is that this is real. Loki is D.B. Cooper, and the Marvel Cinematic Universe, including Loki, is real. There's substantial evidence of this, including photo evidence of the Avengers receiving the Nobel Peace Award, as you can see here, video evidence of the attack on New York, Loki using his powers, and Loki dying, plus photos of Loki just being Loki. So here you can see all the Avengers getting a Nobel Peace Award. That's Loki. Yeah. That's the attack on New York. And that's just Loki.
If it's all the same to
Also
you,
in the attack in New York.
I'll have that drink now. Of mischief.
That's him
Do
using his
hereby
powers.
pledge to you my undying fidelity. Mischief. Do
See?
hereby
Powers.
pledge. Do hereby
Powers.
pledge.
More powers. Also powers. That's him just dying because he's a weak rat, so he's dying, I guess. So sad. Okay. That's Loki, but like buff Loki. That's Loki and his husband Mobius on a jet ski. That's Loki and the worst ship to ever exist. That's Loki also on a jet ski with Mobius. And that's Loki as a baby. So there is clear evidence in that showing that Loki is real and the MCU is real. So all of that is just proves that Loki is D.B. Cooper. Because if Loki is real, Loki is D.B. Cooper. To conclude this, Loki is D.B. Cooper because there is definite evidence showing that Loki committed the crime. It is in Loki's nature to commit the crime, and although people think otherwise, the MCU is real, and the MCU being real is solid proof that Loki is D.B. Cooper. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.